Hey everyone, so before I begin, I'd like to talk about a few things. Um, I'm sorry I haven't been able to talk to anybody in over a month, and I haven't been active on my channel and stuff, but a lot of shit has happened. Um, as some of you know, my grandfather was in the hospital, my dad was in the hospital, a bunch of stuff like that happened, and, my dad's doing okay. He had pulmonary hypertension, and he's doing fine. He's doing pills now. My grandfather is okay, as far as I know. He is out of the hospital. He has a hard time using his left side, but he's getting better, and a bunch of other stuff like that. I recently got a job too. I work Monday through Saturday, and such long hours. I love the job, I really do, but their hours are really draining me, so it's hard to really record and do this, especially since Sunday's my only free day to do anything else, and I have a bunch of other stuff I have to do since I take care of a kid and stuff like that. So it's really hard for me to record, and I'm really, really sorry. I really love this channel. I really want to do it more often, but it's really hard for me to record right now, especially with working Saturdays. As soon as I stop working Saturdays, I'll be able to start recording again and being able to get more videos out as much as possible. But right now it's very spotty, and I'm really, really sorry to everybody who watches me. And I hope you guys still keep listening and loving my stuff as much as possible. But, yeah. Plus, I have horrible, horrible depression. Horrible depression. And I want to be as open with you guys as possible about it. And I'm on a medication for it, trying to get better about it. And sometimes the pills make me very tired and stuff like that, so I sleep a lot. But, yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to get this all out before the video started because I wanted you guys to know what's going on. I mean, I could have saved it to the end, but I don't know. I'm an awkward person. I'm sorry. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to know what's going on and why I'm not uploading and stuff like that. I posted on my social medias, my Reddit and my Twitter, about what's going on and why I am not going to be able to record as much, but I don't know if everybody follows me on that or not, and if you do, you guys might have already seen that, and if you don't, now you know at least. And I'm going to let you guys listen to the video and get on with this instead of listening to me rant about my horrible life anymore. Anyways, thank you all for being here, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. My hands kept fidgeting with the little trinket from beneath the table. 3 little balls attached to an irregular, flat little shape, loose enough that you can roll and twirl the spheres around, but not enough to remove them. The tiny object had no proper function whatsoever, other than keeping my hands busy, but in turn, it kept me calmer. Or at least, I convinced myself it did. The Reverend placed a tray with cookies and juice down and takes his seat across from me. The dark table is standing between us, the smallest of barriers. My eyes kept flickering around and catching little details of the room. I gulped. "So," he says, flashing me a small smile, "what has been troubling you?" "Something is going around wearing my sister's skin." My sister Melody and I had always been very close. Despite the fact we weren't twins, by some trick of genetics, we still look uncannily alike. Up to the point where if we wore similar clothes, people would mistake us for one another. We liked the same kind of music, the same food, the same games. My childhood was filled with 2 of us running in the woods that faced the back of our house, climbing trees and chasing squirrels, giggling while the splotchy sunlight that flickered through the treetops painted us with a camel pattern. That changed around the time I was 13. During one of our outings, Melody fell off a tree. The branch she'd been hanging from broke, and she slid to the ground and beyond it when the soil gave in and she sunk into some large pothole that had been obscured by the tree roots. She screamed as she fell, her voice panicked and strange coming from the natural air pocket. I screamed back as I flattened myself against the earth trying to get her back. I tried to reach out, lying belly down and stretching my arms into the hole as far as I could reach. I could touch her with my fingertips, but not enough to grip her onto her and pull her out. I didn't really get to talk of it since then. I tried to, just once. My mother shushed me, that it was gonna be fine. The scary part had ended, and what mattered was we were both home and fine, and to just let it go. When I told her Melody wasn't fine, she backhanded me. "Don't talk back at me," she said, "and apologize to your sister." I didn't mention it again. My sister changed since then. She liked the things we used to hate. She hummed songs with strange words and claimed they were her old favorites. And the biggest change of all, she hated mealtimes. Food was bland to her, and she hated it. Any food of any kind at all. Our parents said it was normal. She didn't want to get fat. Puberty and all that. That little age gap between us was finally showing its mark, and it was normal that Melody started having different interests and spending time with other people, while I stayed home with my trinkets and books. When she started setting her eyes on some edgy peeps around, it was normal. When she started coming home late, long after the sun went down and the streets were dark, it was normal. When those people hadn't ever come back to their own homes in the following morning, well, it was a tragedy. But that's all. There are evil people in the world, and those things happen when you live in a town such as ours. It was nothing to do with Melody. Our parents were just happy she came home. They never believed me when I said she didn't. They weren't there when she fell like I was. They didn't hear how her scream cut off when she landed, or the way she lied in there, limp, with limbs splayed at odd angles. They didn't watch her eyes slowly turn milky, or feel her skin grow cold under my fingertips as hours passed. They didn't see her dead, stuck in that cage of roots and moss. They also weren't there when I came home alone, or when hours later I saw the shadow of my sister shambling towards the porch, motion strange and rigid like puppets with tangled strings. So of course, they never believed that thing walking around where my sister's skin is not, in fact, my sister. "You think I'm crazy, don't you, Father?" I asked at the end of my tale, waiting for the man in front of me to answer. The Reverend looked at me, and troubled expression was added to his earlier smile. "I think you may need help, child." Giving credit where credit is due. At least he listened to me the whole time until I finished speaking, and looked at me in the eye the whole time, which is more than I got from my mother. And he was physically present, which was more than I expected from my father. He gestured toward the tray of snacks as sort of a peace offering. I did free a hand from my fidget toy beneath the table to take a cookie, though I liked just to hold it and stare at it instead of eating. I'm not sure the kind of help I offer here is right fit for you. If what you want is a warm room to spend the night and some supper, then yes, but you really don't believe me, I stated. That part, however, is exactly as I expected from him. I shrugged. Poor little thing, so young and delusional. That's what you're thinking. Even if I just told anyone else, they wouldn't believe me. I sigh. Just like the boy who escaped your basement. Who would believe him? The Reverend stiffened in his seat. I eyed the door behind him, the one that led to the front nave of the chapel, and that we used to reach this room. so we could talk with more privacy. It was locked, but it didn't really matter. Well, I did, I say, standing from my chair at the same time as him. And Melody did too. He didn't have any chance to get close to me before her hands grasped his shoulders from behind and her teeth sunk in. I elected to turn away from him instead of watching, placing my fidget toy back in my pocket and standing by the window, eyeing the cookie against the sunlight and trying to decide whether it was drugged or not. The gargling noises at my back were ruining my appetite, though. As silent as Melody tends to be nowadays, her victims are not. I tossed the suspicious cookie aside. Anyways, if Melody is here, then the children must have fled already. The ones who could still move. At least. From then on, it was up to them to call their parents or anyone and let the authorities find the ones who were still down there, be it to rescue or to bury. I wanted to go check on them, but the very thought of going down there myself made my stomach churn. I hate these weak guts of mine. If it wasn't for that, I'd be the one releasing the kids and Melody would have come straight here. But no use in fretting over that now. Mallory, I'm done. My sister's voice chirped. I'll grant this much to my parents. As long as she's kept properly fed, Melody does look normal at first glance. Warm, solid, alive. Too bad her strict diet of wicked souls ruined the disguise and forces us to keep skipping towns before the supply gets slower than demand. I glanced back at the Reverend as we made our way out of the room. Melody had sat him back on the same chair he'd been using before, and that's how anyone would find him later. His hair was tousled, and he looked pale and unkempt, but not a speck of blood or injury was in sight. He just sat as he was placed, as dead as the ones could be. He still gave me the creeps nonetheless. Your acting is getting impressive, Mal. It really looked like you were terrified. I wasn't acting, I sneered. What he did to those kids? And I had to distract the sick freak for what, a full hour? 2? I was setting buckets here. Weren't you anxious too? Oh yes, I couldn't stop salivating. Melody's face had a dreamy, hungry expression to it, as if the very thought made her yearn for another bite of a recent meal. I sighed. Why did I even ask? Oh my god, this was such an amazing story. Oh my god. I did not expect that at all, and I really, really liked this story. Oh my god. I definitely have to read more from this author. That was so good. But thank you all for watching my video today. I will try my very, 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 very best to get more videos out. I'm gonna be recording as much as possible today, so hopefully I can have a video out for next week too. But like I said, I'm very busy. But thank you all so much for watching and listening and everything. I really, really love you guys. I really hope you guys can keep watching. And I'll see you guys when I see you. Thank you. Bye.